Good morning everybody, it's Friday and it's blog time. Episode 6, Thursday the 9th of December 2010. It's been a few days now since I last wrote, and to be honest it's been a tough few days. I have had more meetings with the lawyer trying to understand the process of what I have to do and getting as much information as possible. I have not been sleeping very well. And one night towards the end of last week, I was rather ill and had a bad tummy. It took me a few days to recover, so my eating has gone right out the window. On Saturday morning, I got a call from my friend Paul. He said he wanted to meet for breakfast. As I was ready up, after seeing Shah after school, I agreed to meet up. Well, he turned up with his American friend. As I approached Paul, my heart sank, as I saw Fong with a big smile on his face, looking rather pleased with himself. I looked at his American friend. Now, when Fong said he was old, he wasn't kidding. Old was an understatement. Anyway, I got on my bike and we went for coffee, where I was introduced to Bill. I sat there very politely and listened to Bill tell me how attractive I was, and then try and impress me with what he had done with his life before he had retired. I have to admit, I switched off, and only when he was talking about his days in the army during the Vietnam War did I switch back on again. He then proceeded to tell me all about Vietnam, and that he would like to take me out to dinner and show me around. After an hour of this, I could take no more, and told Bill and Fong in no uncertain terms that I was not interested, and that I knew about Vietnam, and that if he had actually bothered to ask me, he would have found this out. I told Fong I really wasn't interested in meeting Bill again, and that I was this strong, independent woman who could take care of herself. Bill still didn't seem to get the picture, and still insisted on giving me his card with all his numbers on. I just kept looking at him thinking, you know what? If I wasn't half black, I could have been a white American mix. And this guy could have been my father, or actually my grandfather. I made my excuses and left. After that, everything went downhill for a few days. The house I was hoping to get fell through. As being the streetwise kid I am, I had asked the people to let me see the papers that proved that the house belonged to them, and I wanted a letter from the bank. My gut instinct was telling me that something was wrong. Well, my instincts were right. He could not get the papers, and so I walked away from this house. I spent the next few days looking at property, which I have to say made me very depressed. The houses are nothing like they are described on the internet. I was getting very frustrated with finding a house, people not ringing me back, and just getting my head around the legal process. By Monday afternoon, I spoke to my ex-husband, who I call Higgins, over Skype, and I admit I broke down in tears. And I had a good cry. This strong, independent woman had turned into a crying wreck. In my head, I had a dream that I would be in the house with kids by Christmas, and we would have a Christmas tree and Christmas lights and be all together. And I felt it was now all falling apart. I felt so alone trying to do this by myself here in Saigon, and making sure that I make the right decisions. I had a very tearful Skype chat with two of the nurses that helped me when I was a baby, and they knew exactly how I was feeling, and told me that when they were trying to do the same thing for me all those years ago, they had the same problems with red tape. After talking with them, I felt so much better. I picked myself up, dusted myself down, took a deep breath, and took another step forward. The problem with me is I know I'm too hard on myself. And when I want things done, The problem with me is I know I'm too hard on myself when I want things done. I do them, but here in Saigon it doesn't work like that. It gets done in Saigon time, no matter what you're told. But now I'm happy to say I have found the right house. I knew as soon as I saw it, my instincts were telling me this is the house for us, and I could see me and the kids living here. It's in District 3, it's a big house with lots of space and lots of light. The landlady is kind, and my friend Jin and I talked with her for a few hours, sorting everything out. She actually lives next door, which is a good thing, and it means extra security. She is also very proud of her home, so I know I'm in safe hands. It's also fully furnished, which brings the expense down. It is set away from the street in a quiet area and has good schools and a church nearby for the children. We move on Saturday and I can't wait. So maybe my dream will come true, that we will be in the house with a tree for Christmas. I may not have all the kids, but I have some of them, and that's a start. Knowing that some of these kids I have now are safe, being fed and educated, is a massive step forward for me. I had to take Shah clothes shopping a few days ago, as she hardly had any clothes to wear. In England, we go to shopping malls, park the car and walk around. In Saigon, you go on your bike, drive very slowly, up and down the roads, looking at the shops. When you see a shop you like, you stop. No matter who's behind you, who's in front of you, where you are, you just stop. And you get off and enter the shop. I have to say, this is bloody scary when driving a bike, as I am forever having to swerve round bikes and people standing in the street and having to watch for bikes heading straight towards me going in the wrong direction. You really do have to have nerves of steel and be completely mad to drive a bike here in Saigon, especially when you have a child on the back. Anyway, we managed to get her some clothes that fitted her. And she thanked me and burst into tears and said that these were her first clothes from a shop ever. I felt like crying with tears of joy. But I am, as I keep saying, this independent woman, and we don't cry. Thank you.